No matter what happens, I should be proud of myself for trying. There was a time when I wouldn't have ever dreamed of doing this. Like, the idea may have popped into my head, and deep down I'd want to, but the anxiety would be so much that I'd rather push the idea out of my mind. So I'm going to SitC, alone, and I have social anxiety. As with most things, I like to be prepared. I plan to use some techniques I've picked up. I can write down my thoughts and pick them apart. My anxiety isn't reality. Here's an example of what I was worrying about at the time, and also how I dealt with it. So, the situation, pre-SitC meetup. Upsetting thoughts? I'll freeze and won't know how to talk to others. Possible alternative? Even if I freeze at first, it doesn't mean I have to stay that way. Changing feelings. Initially, my anxiety was at an 8 out of 10. After thinking it through, it's probably about a 4. Action plan. 5-second rule, and focus on giving and approaching others with the intent of making them feel good about themselves rather than making me feel better about myself. 5-second rule is basically I can count down from 5, and by the time I reach 1, I physically move towards what I want to do or what I'm anxious to do. There's usually a lot of negative chatter in my head, and counting down will shut it up and allow me to make the first step. And to combat the negative chatter way before I even got to the meetup, I repeated positive affirmations to myself, like, I am good enough, exactly as I am. I have much to give to this world. No matter how anyone treats me, I am a worthwhile person. I am a pleasure to know. So how did it go? Well, there was a fair amount of people already there when I arrived. And honestly, I considered just continuing walking on and not stopping for a second. But then I saw 2 people kind of on the edge of the group and decided to ask a question I already knew the answer to. We talked for a bit and they moved on, and then I froze. But a guy called Liam came up to me and started a conversation. I then met Maria, who was standing nearby with her safety hazard of an umbrella. Liam moved on, and then 2 more came to chat, and we all met Luke together. I'm not really one for selfies, so I just said hi, gave him a hug, and wished him a great weekend. Then I met and hung out with a few awesome, interesting, and intelligent people that were thankfully more talkative than me, because I was beginning to get too tired for initiating conversation at that point. And then I met some more. Everyone was so friendly and welcoming. Fails. One coping mechanism that I've had for a long time is hiding behind a certain act. I fell into the act of a helpless fawn a few times and froze a few times, basically waiting for someone else to save me. When really, I'm a lot stronger than I think. I got kind of lazy / tired and didn't want to make as much effort near the end of the meetup. I don't know if that was introversion or anxiety. Wins. I stayed positive in myself. I said what I wanted to say to Luke instead of giving into the pressure of what everyone else was doing. I initiated conversation at the start. I asked questions and focused on others rather than focusing on my awkwardness or nervousness. I saw someone was by themselves and decided to talk to them. Overall, it wasn't too bad. I hid in panels all day. I met a friend, but we ended up doing our own thing. Someone said hi and wanted to network, and I did, kinda. But I think I came across as uninterested and cold. I also felt like I should network too, but it wasn't gonna happen. I felt rubbish the whole day and didn't want to feel like that for the rest of the weekend. My therapist suggested that I write down my thoughts in times like those to distance myself from my feelings and to make it possible to objectively observe and understand my thoughts. Here's what I wrote at the end of that day. I feel overwhelmed, anxious and tired, defeated and discouraged. I haven't said hi to people I've recognized, and now I would feel weird about greeting them. I need a plan, I think. A plan and a focus. Why did I come here? I came here because I wanted to say thank you to creators and tell them I like their stuff, meet friends, spread love and positivity and all that hippie stuff. I think then I have to go for it and stop worrying about what other people may think. I think I'm reluctant because I don't want them to know who I am, because I'm not proud of who I am yet. Or more accurately, I'm not happy with my YouTube content. What do I have to give or offer that would be of any value to them? Oh, it would be embarrassing for them to watch my videos. I feel like I don't belong here. Like everyone else knows each other, or has friends, or has decent shareable content, and I'm just a wannabe. Maybe I feel like I don't belong because I'm not actively engaging. I'm sitting out when I could be jumping in. And I'm not jumping in because I'm afraid that my feelings and fears will be confirmed. I belong because I am a worthwhile person. I have something to give. I am a pleasure to know. And that is all internal. It's not dependent on my external ability, YouTube success, or what other people may think about me, or even how I feel. Therefore, none of that is relevant to whether or not I belong. I guess it's time to take action then, and behave as a person that belongs. Maybe other people will think I'm weird, but I know I'll be happier if I'm able to be myself, rather than if I'm able to hide away from the risk of rejection. I'm excited about meeting my internet friends. I'm excited about meeting my internet friends. I am excited about meeting my internet friends. So in the book, The 5-Second Rule, there's a part on anxiety. Instead of saying I'm nervous, I'm anxious about whatever, you tell yourself that you're excited. And it seems stupid, but it actually makes whatever I'm anticipating manageable. So I met these bunch of annoying idiots, and we hung out for the rest of the weekend. We pulled faces with Sammy Paul and Dad with Evan. I spotted Tati and Dorothy, and I plucked up the courage to tell them that I watched their videos. I actually spotted several YouTubers, and they were also normal, as if they didn't realize they're also amazingly talented. The panels I went to were hilarious, insightful, and inspiring. I bought the work of a genius. And then sung and danced the night away with my friends. I may not have been able to push myself to do everything I wanted, but I did more than I thought I could ever do.